Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday to you from the north, the south, the east, and the west. And I guess I'm in the southeast or the southwest, actually, southeast. And so, what I am so thrilled about today is really getting the opportunity to show you the powerful impact that divine choices have on your life. And so when I say divine choices, what do I necessarily mean divine choices? So to me, whenever I say divine, it means with God, of God, and through God. Okay? So when I really discuss the idea of divine choice, what I'm talking about is the optimal choice. What I'm talking about is the choice that makes a transformative difference within your life and the lives of everybody involved, because the universe is just one big orchestrated piece of creative art that links together infallibly in every possible way you could think of, right? So it's important to understand that as it comes down to us making choices in general, how much more fulfilling would our life be if we decided that every choice was going to be a divine choice, right? And just the powerful impact of that. And let me just kind of get into what tends to happen when we take those steps to do so. So first off, I'll just show you how to make a divine choice. And the main thing in making a divine choice is just asking the divine to be involved in every single area of your life. And so we've gone through the whole process of praying and intention and stuff like that. And so if you want to re-listen to that podcast, you can. But ultimately, it's going through that process and asking the divine, plain and simple. I ask that everything that relates to my life you're involved in the most wonderful, easy, uplifting way possible. And I promise you, all it is just injecting love into everything you do. An easier way to go about this would be to ask yourself, okay, what would love do in this situation? And when we say love, we mean unconditional, universal type love, not manipulative love. Right? So I started doing this a long, long time ago. And what I discovered was there wasn't any magic tricks, sort of like, $500,000 falling out of the sky or anything like that. But what I noticed is I started at a time when I was really downtrodden, when I was really just not very upbeat about my life and how everything was unfolding. And so I wound up doing this and asking for divine help and making the divine choice, allowing my life to be led by divine love and revealed in divine order. I can go on and on all day with this, but I began to do that. And what I noticed is everything started to align perfectly. And what I mean by perfectly is that not only did everything work out perfect for me, but it worked out perfect for everybody else. And I got a story. This was I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago. And I just got into this. And I was reading Catherine Ponder's book, The Prospering Power of Love. I think that's the name of it. And my wife and I had just went on a trip to Vancouver. It was actually for my birthday. And it was the most amazing trip. Her parents used to own an island out in the Gulf Islands. And it's just the most beautiful piece of nature you ever want to experience. And it was all that and more. And the trip was just truly amazing. It was fantastic. Now, the only thing about getting to this island is you have to take a seaplane or you have to take a boat out to the actual island from Vancouver Airport. So we're waiting for our seaplane, and everything seems to be going well. We're waiting at Thesis Island, if you're familiar with that. And all of a sudden, the seaplane gets there, and he shows up and he says, I don't have room for you, for the two of you guys. I'm like, what? It's like we scheduled with the company, the transit company that's supposed to organize these things. And he said, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't have room. Like, you're not on the list. So all of a sudden we're thinking, we got to catch a flight to get back to Los Angeles. What are we going to do? Like, how is this going to and all of a sudden the tension just built, and I was holding that book in my hand. And the thing that came to me, and this was making a divine choice, and I will not lie, this is exactly how it happened. I had highlighted this book so much, like just so many different excerpts, and it happened to fly open, and it said, everything unfolds in perfect divine order. And I just started reciting that to myself. I was upset. My wife was upset. We were trying to call this company, couldn't get on the phone with them. Finally, we got on the phone with them, and they said, we're sending a plane right away. We're so sorry, such and such, yada, yada. But I just kept on calmly reciting, everything unfolds in perfect divine order. Everything unfolds in perfect divine order. Literally 25 minutes later, this guy comes zooming in, sliding across the water in this plane. And he said, I am so sorry. It was a mix up, but I'm going to take you to the airport. Everything's going to work out. And so we calmed ourselves down, got into the plane, enjoyed the beautiful flight of nature. I'll never forget that, flying over the Gulf Islands out in Vancouver. And, we made it to Vancouver Airport. And would you know, the story continues. So we get to the airport, we're all calm and relaxed, and we're checking into our flight, and thankfully, we didn't have carry-on that trip, and we usually take a big-ass bag for carry-on, and by divine design, we didn't take a check bag. I'm saying carry-on. By divine design, we didn't take a check bag, and we only had our carry-on. So we get to the airline, I think it might have been Southwest, and they're saying, your plane is boarding in an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, just take it to myself. I'm like, okay, just calm down. And I started saying, everything unfolds in perfect divine order. Everything unfolds in perfect divine order. And somehow or another, everything just basically linked up, right? So this lady got us checked in really quick. She said, you're all set. There's still time. You don't have any checked bags. So you just got to go through security. We get to security. There's a bit of a line. All of a sudden, they open up another line where we can go through security. We get through security. We get to the gate with time to spare and enough to catch our breaths to get home on the plane to take back to Los Angeles. And it's looking back on it, it's the most amazing, one of the most amazing instances in my life, because it seemed so detrimental at the time. It seemed like such a miserable situation that was unfolding, but yet and still, I will never forget having that book and just flipping to that page and saying, everything unfolds in perfect divine order, right? And in doing that, it was almost as if these powerful forces came to our need in the time of need. In that very time of need, they came to our rescue and just started maneuvering things. And so this kind of tells you how powerful spirit is to sort of manipulate things and conjure things in a way that can help you, especially when it's in your highest good. And so I just look back on that, and I'm completely overwhelmed with gratitude, because you know, it's one of those things. I had just started learning these concepts. And just after like learning, I could put it in to play that quickly and have it work for me because the desire was there for it to work. And now, before I do everything, dear God in me, help me to make the greatest divine choice. Help me to operate under perfect divine order. I know that everything going in today, everything unfolds in perfect divine order. I know that I'm only taking divine right action. I know divine love governs my life and processes my life. And you start to get into this mantra of really elevating yourself to a new level of living because everything is under the divine. And once again, divine means of God, in God, through God. Diving in means diving into God, diving into truth, divine, you know. So that story taught me the power. What if I just gave it all over to Spirit? What if I just gave everything that I was feeling to Spirit? Just gave it over, right? Just turned it over and allowed Spirit to work through me. How much greater would my life be? Well, I can tell you, my life has been pretty amazing. Actually, really amazing. I'm not even going to sit here and try to be modest about it. It's been amazing because I've chosen to put Spirit first. It's because I've chosen to choose spirituality above everything else and then integrate it into my life. Knowing that if you integrate it into anything, it's going to make everything turn out in the very best possible way you could ever imagine. And I promise you, this is the case. This is the impact, the powerful impact of making a divine choice, right? So, where are you in your life right now where you can potentially make divine choices? You know what I like to do is I'll sit down every day and I hadn't done this in a while, but I'm actually glad because I'm starting to get back into it. But choosing every day to pick an area of your life to where you're going to make a divine choice, and that's almost kind of reveals divine insight, right? That's another thing you can ask. I'm telling you, you put divine in front of everything, and it really almost like amplifies. It's like turning up the high beams on your car. But I made a point to really focus on the idea of making divine choices, living in divine order every day of my life in some area, right? So one day it could be career, another day it could be relationships. Sometimes they all kind of bunch together. It's wonderful really to see how all this stuff kind of gels and works out in your very best interest, right? So here's an option, and I'm going to do this with you as my cat is just terrorizing the entire living room. I'm going to join you and really commit to this in choosing an area for each day of my life. So one day can be career, one day can be spirituality, one day can be, or what you can do? You can put them all together and choose to make a divine choice. Let's do that instead. That sounds like a better idea. Choose to make a divine choice in every aspect there. And what I mean by divine choice, ask for help from divine love to prosper you, and ask divine wisdom or divine love to reveal insights that you need to know about it all, and commit to that every day. And I just want you to commit to it for 1 week, right? For 1 week. So next Saturday, I will do this podcast, and I'm going to see, we'll see how it went, and then I'll give you an idea as to how mine went. And now, I promise you, this is going to work so well that you're likely going to do it for the rest of your life, and that's the plan. But we want to really dive into 7 days and see what can happen in 7 days when we commit to making divine choices. So with that being said, guys, let's get together for our intention. Everybody, even if you're listening to this in the future sometime, it's still effective. Everybody that's listening to this podcast right now, their energy is with you. My energy is with you. We're all coming together. Place your finger, your middle finger, and your right hand on your third eye, in between your eyebrows, and then your middle finger on your left hand and your heart center. Take a deep breath. Fill yourself up with compassion for yourself, compassion for your loved ones, compassion for the strangers, for all 7.6 billion people out there in the world trying to make it all come together. Good. Take another deep breath for me. Good. And let's set this intention for you. Powerful intention. I could even feel the energy right now as it permeates. Dearest God in me, oh benevolent, wonderful Spirit, thank you for taking the time out to be with us. Thank you for just allowing us to access all that is divine power, all that is ours by divine right and divine selection. It is our prayer, it is our intention, it is our desire to enable and to allow everything easily and effortlessly to manifest under divine law, in divine order, in divine right action. Thank you for allowing us to make a divine choice and endless divine choices in our lives, not only helping us, but helping everyone to experience the highest good. Father, we appreciate all that you've enlightened us to see as it relates to the divine. And we thank you that this prayer is answered now, under grace, in a perfect way. And so it is. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. We will talk soon. Have a wonderful Saturday. Take care.